Good evening, traders, and welcome to another StockX post-market recap for April the 8th. So if you guys been watching our content, we've been showing you extensively how we've been doing throughout the beginning of the month till now, okay? So if you guys are watching this for the very first time, we gave a little bit of insights on what's happening in the room, what trades we have been taking, and we give a little bit of prediction on what's to happen going forward. But our process is very methodical. Every morning, I am up, around 4 to 5 a.m., getting things done, analyzing my levels, analyzing the news, and also making sure that we got the right game plan to make sure our members are successful. Okay. Before I do anything else, let's talk about what the news was happening today. Okay. So every morning, and this is a great process to also include in your trading behavior, is to make sure you have a checklist. Okay, this checklist lets me make sure I know what's going on in the market. It reminds me because there's literally 1,000 things happening, and if you guys are using Notion, it's a great tool to have, especially if you guys got this calendar review over here. Okay, so for today, our gamma analysis was as follows. Okay, so this was in our Discord and pretty much copied it from that detail there. Okay, so if I pull up the Discord, pretty much I wrote it there as well, but let's use it here because it's easier to see. So pretty much the gamma report is a summary of my prediction under different circumstances of what can happen in the market. Okay, me as an option analyst, we use this gamma report. We look at the deltas, we look at the premiums to understand how complex the market is overall. Okay, so if we go to the latest report here, we pretty much mentioned for today, we see the market is distributed evenly. Okay, so for you guys that understand statistics, pretty much the gamma is a range of probabilities in a bell curve. Okay, it's very important to know because we want to know what the probability of, let's just say SPX going to 5,200, what the probability of SPX going to 5,180, and etc. We want to see what the chances are of each different scenario happening. So that way, when the market is moving, we know exactly what the key inflection points to look at. Okay, that's a little bit the science behind it. As a trader, if you're new to the thing, you don't need to know all that. I'm pretty much here to guide you how to analyze that, and I pretty much make sure you guys know. So when you're in my channel, I make it easy peasy, and I want to make sure that you guys are learning and making money at the same time. That's the primary goal of my mentorship channel. And in my mentorship channel, we also coach you. So everyone has opportunity to basically book one-on-one meetings with myself, and we pretty much go over your trading behaviors and see how we can improve that. Okay, so besides that, we mentioned that the range is 5140 to 5260. Market gets stronger if it breaks this, blah, blah, blah. Under 5180, that's when it looks bearish. Okay, now the important thing here is that we mentioned that the neutral range is between 5,200 and 5,210. Okay, the neutral is when there's no basically strength on the up or the downside is pretty much sideways. The neutral gamma, that's what we're talking about, sideways range is 5,200, 5,210. And we also mentioned here, this can be identified as the pinned chop zone. Assuming there is no news or events, it looks like SPX is likely to trade in range prior to this CPI report. So this was a huge hint. I gave you my prediction saying that most likely SPX trades in range, okay, assuming there's no news or anything like that. And that's exactly what we see happened here today. Pretty much you see SPX with the range of, slightly went below 5,200, the day's range, but it pretty much it had a high of 52.19, but it pretty much just managed to trade in this 52.10 and 5,200 zone. Okay, so we knew right off the bat SPX was going to be playing hard. Now let's just say if SPX was under a different condition, how do we know to change our stance or what the key thing is? Well, that's very easy. As per my model, if you hit level 1 bullish, how do the premiums look? If you hit level 2, we know that that confirms the trend and so forth. Okay, so very important detail here as well. Now in my Discord, we also shared a lot of news. Okay, there was a lot of news in regards to upgrades and in the semiconductor space. Okay, First one had to do with Taiwan Semiconductor, capitalizing on AI boom with their expansion plans. So they got grants from the U.S. government. AMAT got an upgrade. That's why if you look at the pre-market details, TSM was up around 2 to 3%. Micron also increased their prices. But the funny thing is that regardless on this news, even the positive upgrades, all of that, the semiconductor space was very weak, right? So right off in the open, you see the semiconductor space was weak, and you pretty much seen the banks pretty much holding the entire market up. Okay, so based on all this detail here and all of that, what trades did we take here? Okay, so let's go back to our spreadsheet. So our spreadsheet here, we knew that the market was going to be very chop. So currently, as per our detail here, including the trade that I have right now, we are up net 13,500. Okay, so we basically took a swing on Meta calls. This was actually, it went up a high of 20% here, but we sold our SMCI calls perfectly at this point here. We're pretty much trading it fast. This actually would have gone to around 80-90% had we sold at our target, but because the market is chop, I'm selling it a lot fast. So not mad about that. But let's just say if we don't consider this Meta play here, because it's a swing, we're pretty much gonna be, sorry, if we didn't consider this, we would be up 16, but with Meta, we're net 1,300 there. Okay, so pretty confident about this because this play here was actually near the low of the day price. We didn't overpay or anything like that. And I'll give the whole rationale for this trade here as well. Okay, now going back to our charts here. Okay, so explaining a little bit about the trades that we took. So first of all, SMCI. Okay, so SMCI, this was me pretty much waiting for my inflection point. Okay, so I decided to get SMCI at around level 1 bearish, close to that. Okay, so we got in those. They were down a max of 10, around 10 to 20%. But I wasn't too concerned because it held our level 2 bearish. But the thing about my level 2 bearish is it confirms the trend. Okay, means that the market is gonna keep going low. The stock, when it hits that, it is gonna keep going lower no matter what. Okay, unless if there's news. So then 906 was this very strong support. Boom, bounced off there, went there. This is where we exited. We wanted to exit because we knew that level 2 is confirmed, and it went back down again, and then pretty much sailed off the sunset. But it was an amazing exit, and we got out. Okay, so it's going to be very hard for SMCI to stay in the green here. Okay, now our second one was NVDA. Okay, now NVDA actually didn't. It was close to hitting our level 1 bearish support, but it didn't. Okay, so what we had did is that we waited for the stock to pretty much hit the upper WAP. We got in our puts around here, and then we pretty much sold it around here. But we could have waited till I told my team already that it was going to hit level 1 bearish at some point today, and that's when we pretty much got the puts, and that was nice, almost 50% play there. Okay, so we took the profits and we moved right along. Okay, now for our Meta analysis, the reason why we got Meta here. So Meta premiums were pretty much ideal. Okay, it did pretty much hold my level 1 bearish support. I mean, a lot of these stocks do, and the premiums there. So it hit it multiple times, it was holding, and the 540 calls were relatively cheap here. Okay, my assumption here is that if Meta holds this 520 here, it's very possible it may retest 536 here. Okay, kind of a long shot here, but it's worked many times in the past here. So let's see if it holds this key number here. One thing about Meta here, and I told my team as well, there might be a potential TikTok news or ban or divestment or whatever. If that happens, Meta is going to be opening at 536, possibly test 542 in greater detail. So we took a shot at that. Let's see how it works. It looks still strong. There's pretty much a golden cross here. So I believe that this is going to go higher moving forward. Okay. Now you can pretty much see, Netflix pretty much held there. You can see LRCX didn't hit anything pretty much, but a lot of these stocks are hitting our key inflection point, okay? ARM actually managed to break above our inflection point. It had news later on the day and it just broke out, okay? Another thing as well, watch for Google. Google has an upcoming event into tomorrow as well, okay? And Tesla was strong today only because of the Elon news where he introduced unveiled the robotaxi event, okay? Now, we get to the final part of our presentation today. Basically, what is happening, or what is my opinion of what's going to happen going forward, okay? So pretty much we do know that CPI and FOMC meeting minutes is happening Wednesday. If you're in Canada, interest rate announcements there too. Nothing much happening on Tuesday, so the market's going to be trading in speculation mode. But if we look at this week's Gamma report analysis, right? Pretty much if you guys been looking at how the CPI report is, CPI report has been coming in very hot, so the expectations are set high, okay? And you can pretty much see that as well with this detail. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. So you can pretty much see that the CPI year over year is coming, the estimate forecast of 0.3, previous was 0.4, so that's a little bit higher, but the year over year expectations is higher, and that's going to be a bigger thing, okay? If the CPI, since the CPI report is coming out before the FOMC meeting minutes, the meeting minutes pretty much is less meaningful and impactful, okay? But besides that, into tomorrow, I still see a range bound here, but if SPX futures somehow get above 52.20, it's very possible that we could remain in the strong point here, okay? I think SPX may try to retest 52.20, 52.30. So for tomorrow, I give it a sideways bullish chop, and that's what I think was going to happen, where we're probably going to be trading between 52.20 and 52.30, pretty much pinned there. And it's a possibility we could probably see a test at 52.40. Okay, if 52.20 doesn't hold, then we're most likely going to be trading approximately in the same range here. So just keep an eye on it. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this post-market recap and learned a thing or two about my channel and also the details about what's happening for tomorrow. So stay in touch. We do also are offering a 1 month 50% off on our mentorship program, which includes private mentorship. So that way you guys get the coaching with me. It's a great opportunity to help you grow your account. I'm very transparent. I show all my trade logs constantly. If you guys are in my Discord, you can see my trade logs are all here. And we give weekly updates and monthly updates, okay, about how we're doing. And it's very important for us to show you our consistency along with our process and details, so that way you guys can see if we're the right mentor for you. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next market recap. And like always, let's get that money.